Welcome back to Askewed Reviews, and as I have been doing so the past few weeks, I am finally getting to the end of Kevin Smith's films. At least that is until he makes Mallrats 2, Moose Jaws, or if Kilroy Was Here finally is no longer just available as an NFT. So today we are doing the 2016 film Yoga Hosers. Here is your trivia question for today. What popular cereal keeps popping up throughout the film? The answer will be at the end of this episode. So, this film primarily takes place at the local A to Z convenience store. It's here where we meet our two main characters, Colleen M and Colleen C. So, these two clerks are best friends and they do everything together, including yoga classes, playing in a rock band, and even going to the same school. The one difference between them is that Colleen M has a crush on Hunter Calloway, who, along with his best friend Gordon Greenleaf, are about to throw a party. Unfortunately, though, both the Colleens have to work. But they end up having the bright idea of inviting Hunter and Gordon over to the store and having a small party there. So the boys do decide to show up, and for the most part, everything starts off just fine. That is until a tiny army of Nazi bratwurst men shows up out of nowhere to ruin the evening. So can the two Colleens, only armed with what they can find in the store and their yoga training, be able to stop this army of Bratzis? This movie was written and directed by Kevin Smith. The idea for this film came about on the Smodcast podcast with Kevin Smith and Scott Mosier. The term yoga hoser was actually a catchphrase started by Mosier. Yoga Hosers is the second film in what Kevin Smith is calling his True North trilogy, which Tusk was the first, this is the second, and then the third film, Moose Jaws, has not been made yet. It's called the True North trilogy as all films take place in Canada. However, though, none of them have been filmed there so far, as this one was entirely filmed in California. The main characters of Colleen M and Colleen C are played by Harley Quinn Smith, Kevin Smith's daughter, and Lily Rose Depp, Johnny Depp's daughter. Now, in real life, these two are actually best friends. They originally met at the Hollywood Schoolhouse Kindergarten. Also, if you weren't aware, they are reprising their roles as the two clerks from the film Tusk. At one point in the film, Colleen M says the line, "I'm not even supposed to be here today," which of course is made famous by Kevin Smith's original film, Clerks. Also, there's a potential nod to the third film in the True North trilogy, as Colleen M is wearing a Camp Antler shirt from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Johnny Depp is also back to reprise his role from Tusk as Guy Lapointe. They've also decided to give him the comical joke of having moles that not only multiply, but keep moving around his face. This is a joke that was previously used in Robin Hood Men in Tights by Richard Lewis's Prince John. Johnny Depp's son, Jack Depp, also makes a brief cameo in the film. Another cameo is Vanessa Paradis, who happens to be Jack and Lily Rose's mother, and she plays Miss Maurice. And like most Kevin Smith films, his wife, Jennifer Schallbach Smith, makes a cameo as well. Andronicus Arcane in the film is played by Ralph Garman. Now, this role was originally given to Michael Parks. Unfortunately, though, he fell ill during production and Garman had to take over. It's no surprise that Kevin Smith wanted Parks to play the villain in this film, as he did such a great job playing a villain in Smith's other two horror films, Red State and Tusk. All of the Bratzis were originally supposed to be played by Jason Mewes, but due to his claustrophobia, he couldn't even make it through the makeup test. They then tried asking if Haley Joel Osment would be willing to play the creatures, but as soon as his manager found out what they were, he declined for Osment. So in the end, the Bratzis had to be played by Kevin Smith, who actually had to shave his face for the first time in 20 years because of the prosthetics. The Bratzis were not originally tiny bratwurst people, but in fact tiny Hitler clones. So Justin Long, Haley Joel Osment, and Genesis Rodriguez all come back from having been in the movie Tusk, but none of them playing the characters from that film. Jason Mewes also has a brief cameo in this movie. You also have appearances from Austin Butler, Tyler Posey, Tony Hale, Natasha Lyonne, Adam Brody, Shashir Zamata. There's even an appearance by Stan Lee, And finally, voiceover actor Kevin Conroy also makes an appearance, which he's most well known for doing the voice of Batman in Batman the Animated Series, and they even make a joke about that, as the boy that's next to him is apparently named Robin. So when it comes to the film Yoga Hosers, I really enjoy the on-screen chemistry between Harley Quinn Smith and Lily Rose Depp. But unfortunately, the film itself is pretty lacking. It's entertaining, but it is ridiculous and almost too ridiculous at times. So I think I'm going to give this one a 2 out of 5. Now, if you did enjoy Yoga Hosers, other movies I recommend checking out are Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, Anna and the Apocalypse, Cooties, and The Ginger Dead Man. And now it's time for the trivia question from the beginning of this episode. What popular cereal keeps popping up throughout the film? It's a parody cereal of Lucky Charms called Pucky Charms, as apparently all Canadians are into hockey. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews, and if there's a movie you'd like to see get a review, just mention it in the comments.